Giants fans, I need your help. We have all sorts of different NFL channels here at Chat Sports. We got a Giants channel. We also have a Browns channel. And right now, we are 160 subs away from reaching the Cleveland Browns Report. And right now, the Browns Report, they're pumping out 7 videos a week. And the rule here is the more subs equals the more videos you get to do. So once we pass the Browns Report, we will possibly be able to do 7 videos a week like them. So if you want more New York Giants videos, go down and hit that big red button. New York Giants fans, what is going on? I am your host, Marshall Green, and we are getting into a mailbag today. And if you're wondering how to get on the next New York Giants mailbag, you got to be a subscriber, and you got to drop your questions when I ask for them. So go in the comment section right now, drop your questions using hashtag Giants so my producer can find them very easily. This first one coming in from my guy, Timothy Hansen. He asks, do you think the Giants could be somewhat competitive next year with a new GM and hopefully 2 first-round O-linemen and everyone is healthy? First, I want to talk about the draft piece. I hope the Giants take 2 offensive linemen with their first 2 picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. The Giants, they have to nail this upcoming draft. Whether it's Dave Gettleman, which it sounds like it's not due to the reports of Ian Rappaport a couple weeks ago, but whoever is the next general manager for this football team, they have to capitalize on the picks that they have. Because right now, if the season ended today, the Giants would have 5 top 75 picks in the 2022 NFL Draft. Obviously, you're not going to have a 100% hit rate, and you're not going to get 5 starters out of those first 5 picks, but maybe you can get 3 starters, and I think if 2 of those guys are on the offensive line, one of those is an edge rusher, maybe an off-ball linebacker, this team could compete in the NFC East next year. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs, but I can promise you, if they hit on those first 5 picks, they will have a much better record than 4-8 midway through the 2022 NFL season. But I want to hear what you guys have to say. Here at Chat Sports, we thrive off of audience interaction, and I want to take the pulse of all Giants fans watching this video, so get it off your chest. Will the Giants make the playoffs next year? If you think they will, go down in the comments and type Y for yes, or if not, go down and type N for no. This next question coming in from Connor. Are you giving up on Dan Jones? I think it's funny that you said Dan Jones because I'm out on Dan Jones, meaning bad Daniel Jones. When he's good, he's Daniel. When he's bad, he's Dan. So I'm out on Dan Jones, but I'm still in on Daniel Jones. He's shown me enough to where I believe he can still be a franchise quarterback. This year, it hasn't worked out for him. But what he did in his rookie season, look at the numbers. He had a 2-to-1 touchdown interception ratio. He had a game where he threw 5 touchdowns and no interceptions. He had another game where he threw 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Another game with 4 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. And I think that's what I'm still hanging on to. If I didn't see what he was able to do in 2019, I wouldn't still believe in him. But the fact that he threw 24 TDs and 12 starts still makes me believe that Daniel Jones can eventually, maybe, one day, if he gets the pieces around him and the interior offensive linemen, the playmakers stay healthy, Saquon Barkley maybe gets back to that number 2 overall draft pick that we used at him out of Penn State, maybe he can be the guy. But I think it's unfair to already be out on Daniel Jones because his evaluation is not done, in my opinion. It is impossible to evaluate Daniel Jones because, one, he's never had the offensive line to keep him upright in the pocket and healthy. This is a guy that needs protection up front so he can go through his reads and be a real quarterback. You can't just always ask a quarterback to hit their back leg on a 3-step drop and without resetting, fire the ball into a receiver. You need to have time as a quarterback to be able to make reads, go through your progressions, and make the right plays. I'm not out on Daniel Jones, and I don't think the evaluation has been fair. Saquon Barkley's been hurt. Oh, what about this year? Guys, we got Kenny Golladay. We got Kadarius Toney. They're hurt. They've missed a lot of time. Sterling Shepard, he's missed a lot of time since he's been with the New York Giants and playing with Daniel Jones. So I want to know what you have to say. I'm out on Dan, but I'm still in on Daniel Jones. I think he could be the signal caller for the Giants for a long time, but I want to know what you have to say. Are you in or out on Daniel Jones? Do you want him back next year? Do you not want him back next year? Get your votes in. Type I for in or O for out. Flagspin asked this question. Do you think John Ross should play over Darius Slayton? He has been pretty disappointing so far this season. I'm kind of assuming that you think Darius Slayton has been pretty disappointing this year, and I agree. Since his rookie year coming out of North Carolina as a 5th-round draft pick, Darius Slayton has not been the same player. He has a bad case of the drops, and that's hurt the Giants so far this year. That play against the Washington football team, that cost the Giants the game when he dropped that wide open post route. But for what the numbers look like and how John Ross stacks up against Darius Slayton, John Ross has played a fraction of the snaps that Darius Slayton has had. But I just feel like when John Ross is on the field, it puts way more pressure on defensive coordinators. That type of speed is game-breaking speed, and defensive coordinators stay up at night worrying how they cannot let John Ross catch a deep route and make a bang offensive play. John Ross on the season, 10 catches, 217 yards, that 1 touchdown against the New Orleans Saints. Darius Slayton, 21 grabs for just under 300 yards. He also has 1 touchdown on the season. But I just think that John Ross at this point is a guy that still has untapped potential, as we know what Darius Slayton is at this point. But pick a wide receiver for me. Who should get the bulk of the reps as the Giants' deep threat wide receiver? If you think it should be John Ross, go down in the comments and type JR. Or if you think, unlike me, that Darius Slayton should be able to keep getting the reps as the deep threat, go down and type DS. This next one coming in from one of the most faithful watchers of New York Giants now, my guy Alzo. What's going on, man? I hope you're having a good day. He said this. It looks like there's a possibility Daniel Jones will be out for some time. Are there any veteran QB free agents available? Surely the Giants cannot face 3 division rivals in the next 5 games with third-string quarterbacks. It sucks. We're 4-8 at this point, but I don't see the Giants making a move at quarterback. But the worst news about it, I fear that Daniel Jones might be out for the year. A neck injury is nothing to play with, especially at the quarterback spot where you really can't defend yourself and take blindside hits all the time. And the Giants, the reports came out that it was a neck strain, but the Giants never said that. Coming from them, they have it listed as a neck injury. Daniel Jones flew to California on Monday of this week to see a specialist, and he was still not cleared for contact. He's not just going to wake up in 2 days and be cleared for contact. I don't think you need to rush Daniel Jones back because, look, this offensive line is a mess. The playmakers are hurt, and you're not going to learn anything about Daniel Jones in these last couple of games that you've already seen. I believe that the Giants will roll with Mike Glennon and Jake Fromm for the rest of the season. I hope it's Jake Fromm under center this week against the Los Angeles Chargers. We know what Mike Glennon is. He has a strong arm. He can make some great throws, but this is a guy that is a backup quarterback for a reason. Maybe it's just because of the unknown with Jake Fromm is what excites me, and I think that's what excites a lot of Giants fans. We don't know who Jake Fromm is. He may suck, but it'll be fun on Sunday if he gets under center and is able to maybe even score more than 9 points like Mike Glennon did last week against the Miami Dolphins. But what do you think? Should the Giants sit Daniel Jones the rest of the year because of that neck injury? Anytime you're not cleared for contact 2 weeks after an injury, especially a neck injury, that is not good. That's not something you want to play with. That neck is not something you want to play with. I mean, he doesn't have a neck like Mike Glennon. It's not strong as his. But get down in the comments. Should Daniel Jones sit the rest of the season? Type P for play, or go down and type S for sit. And guys, help me out. I want to grow my Twitter followers, and we are doing that so far this season. And I quickly want to shout out some of you guys that have followed me on Twitter. I've asked you in a couple recent videos to do so, and my Twitter followers, we're getting there. You know, we've gained some, we've lost some, you know, that's just life. But the guys that, and ladies and gentlemen, that I want to follow or give a shout out to is my guy Chuck, Preston Wooten, Gamer Dude, David Griffin, David Adino, Jedi Falcon 56, El Guapo, King Wolf, Big Blue in the Bronx, Alex, Protich, Dark, Hugh, John Smith, Camaro, Jarvis, and Frank White. You guys are the most recent people to follow me on Twitter, and I want to thank all of you guys. And if you want to shout out on the next New York Giants now, hit me up on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_.